Hello everybody and welcome on into another Lego Marvel set review on my channel. Today we are checking out set 76269, the Avengers Tower. Finally guys, after waiting for so long, I finally got it. Of course, this thing is just crazy. It comes with 5,201 pieces, retails for 750 bucks Canadian, which gives it roughly a 14 cents per piece to price ratio, which is actually really good for a Marvel set, especially one of this size. Though that is probably one of the big things that they took into consideration, making it nice and relatively good with the piece to price ratio, however making it super expensive. This box is so heavy and is massive, so I have to kind of have it backed up here for a little bit. Of course, this is the back side of the box right here with the trim at the bottom, and I look at the back side of it with everything there as well. So all the play features there. Of course, you can see all the removable pieces, some of these scenes that you can recreate. Of course, the size, it is about 3 feet tall, which is insane to me, honestly. It is just such a big set. Of course, at the top of the box as well, you have every figure in the set, which is crazy to me, and we'll be sure to go through every single part of this set. Lifting up the flap here with the minifigures here at the top, you get revealed to you this amazing art right here, which just looks incredible with all the heroes right here displayed on the front, which just is just such like unneeded but such a nice addition to the set. I think it looks really nice. And while opening up the box here, you can see there is a massive amount of bags. I haven't even found half of them, I think. Like, this is just like, I have to count all these. This is only just half the bags here. However, we do get another box inside of the massive box. So let's actually cut that open here.
And I guess the instructions will be in here.
As well as some more bags. And that's what it looks like. After organizing them all, bags 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and 31 to 39. Of course, we also get the base plate in this, and 2 bags with some stands and some more plates here, which is very nice, as well as the, oh, this is heavy, okay. This is the instruction booklets, I'm going to assume here. Sorry guys for the weird. Okay, well, not what I was expecting. We get this kind of like plastic sheet right here, which is really cool. And then we of course get sticker sheet number 1 and sticker sheet number 2. And then of course book 1, 2, and 3. Guys, I think we'll split this video up into 3 sections. I do want to mention too, throughout the build you have a bunch of Easter eggs featured throughout the instructions. They give you a bit of information at the beginning, of course, about Lego's future here, as well as a little information about the set itself here, the Avengers Tower, as well as a few little things to anticipate while building it. Of course, moving on, you get the couple of these scenes that were on the back of the box, and you get to meet the guys that designed this set, which I think is a really nice touch. Of course, after that, a couple more little tad bits about breaking down like the different levels of the set, of course, and of course your entry and kind of clarification. Okay, it's about to start. Of course, flipping through it at the end of bag 1 and 2, which is where you build the Leviathan, you do get a little nod to the movies. Of course, there are these little spots right here at the bottom of the page once something is done being built, or once you build something, that adds in a little reference to the movies. Of course, this one says, during the climactic battle with the Chitauri in the Avengers, Thor destroys one of the monstrous Leviathans in one blow. And another one that gets brought up when building is the fact that they add in some red bricks for the foundation of the set, of course, as a nod to Tony Stark saying to throw a little hot red in there. I think this is actually really cool and a fun way to just incorporate some really fun stuff into kind of a boring part like building the foundation. So with that being said, this is the first booklet, everything that you get, of course, from bag 1 to bag 11. Starting off with the first 2 bags here, we get to build the menacing Leviathan side build right here, as well as two figures, that of course being Thor and a Chitauri soldier. This Thor is actually exclusive to the set, this being of course the version that has come in a bunch of sets recently. However, the hair is different here, looking a bit curlier than the hair that he normally uses, that of course being his shaggy hair. Of course, the torso print is the same there with the red cape. However, this is the one with one hole instead of two, which is a bit weird how they are using it. However, this one does flop a bit more than the other ones used to. Of course, you have his double-sided head there, of course, with the lightning there, as well as the back of the torso, which isn't anything special. This is actually the first time I've gotten this version of Thor, so it's nice that I actually get to have it in a set like this. Of course, as an accessory, you also get this attachment piece, which comes with a bunch of Thor minifigures. Of course, this also comes with the most recent Thor vs. Surtur set right here. We also get a little disc piece that you can stand him on, which I don't really understand. Maybe it's supposed to show that he's kind of hovering. I'm not really sure, though. It is nice for displayability. Of course, you can flip the head around there, which is very easy, and clip it into his hand like so to make it look like he is throwing Mjolnir. A very, very, very nice kind of addition to the figure, which I think just makes it look so much better. As well as we also do get this Chitauri soldier, which isn't anything different from the ones we've gotten in the past couple years. Of course, you have his ray gun, as well as the same face and torso printing there, of course, looking very nice. We actually get 4 of these guys in the set. However, I've only built 1 so far. It is a very nice inclusion to the set. But of course, the side build itself is this massive Leviathan looking incredible. Probably one of the most fun times I've had building a Lego set. The movability that this thing has is crazy. You of course have the 2 fins at the front here, as well as the 2 at the back, with the massive spiny looking build here. Of course, you can also take it off the stand, which is very nice to have, especially for a set like this that's going on display here. And yeah, everything on this thing really moves here. Of course, you have the neck that moves, the jaw that moves, which looks crazy. Of course, the thing is also embedded in this like almost like cocoon-like kind of look here with the claws and all that stuff around it, looking very, very nice. Of course, they all wrap up kind of like a cage or maybe like a spine here. It looks really cool, and every section of it moves. Actually, if you can see in there, there are a bunch of ball joints there around the armor here, which just gives it like that scaly cool design too around here, with the spikes too, and just the tail at the end. I believe this is a bit of a different build from the one that was released this summer, which is nice. However, it would have been nice to get a bigger version of it, I think. But if you do want a bigger version of it and you don't want to spend the $700 for this set, you can always spend the $50 for the Avengers versus the Leviathan. Up next in the building process is the main floor. However, it is not done, of course, as later on the build you do add, of course, the trimming along the edges, the wall, and of course a little bit of Easter eggs around the build. However, the first floor is actually still packed full of Easter eggs. Before getting into that, though, here are the figures featured throughout the first section of the first figure, of course, being the Iron Man Mark 6, looking very nice and also keeping that classic design. However, the one thing I do want to mention is I don't think these new helmet designs fit with the older versions of the suits. The newer versions of the suit, yes. However, this one just makes it look more like the Nano suit, which I'm not a huge fan of. Underneath, of course, is the Tony Stark head that's been being used for years and years. Of course, this set comes with 3 of them, which is going to be crazy. However, flipping it around, you do have his grinning expression there. I do have this one on because his mask is over top of it. And what's nice is we get a nostalgic callback, of course, to how Iron Man was displayed back when he first was released, of course, with the blue transparent studs right there, and the 1x1 cylinder brick ones for the feet. I think that actually looks really, really cool, of course, looking all the way around there. The hot rod red and the gold just making a super nice figure. Up next, we also do get the shield agents here, looking very nice and simple there with that new torso print. Each of them are equipped with a gun here with, of course, their scope and the helmet, which is a nice inclusion. This is the male version right here, looking very nice, as well as the female version here actually does have a bit of variation, coming with some handcuffs, of course, and a different face there in the new skin tone released alongside the Sanctum, which is actually very fitting, as that was, I believe, the first modular set that this skin tone was released in. Of course, the same torso print right there, the same gun, and just some handcuffs to differentiate. Coincidentally, we do get a third one. However, this, of course, is the Tony Stark disguise one, of course, here. Looking like Tony Stark, of course, rightfully so. Of course, he also does come with his briefcase. Of course, you will see later on in the build that this comes into play massively. Of course, the same face print on our Iron Man figure, same torso print as the other shield agents here. However, what is nice is we do get the spiky hairpiece that you can change out with it, like so, which I think does actually look a lot better. However, just for the disguise and simplicity of it, I do like to keep the helmet on. To replicate that scene, we also do get the Ant-Man micro figure, which looks very nice. Nothing new from the ones that we have gotten recently. It's been the same for a while. However, I just do think it does look nice. And finally, for the last minifigure part of this first floor, we get Alexander Pierce, looking incredible and crazy that we actually got him in this set. I would have never expected him to come in a set like this. But yeah, here you have it. He does not come with a different face expression. However, he does come with this grinning face, which I believe is exclusive to this figure. Of course, you do get a nice torso print with that striped suit, and the dark tan hairpiece there looks really good. I actually love the inclusion of him, especially with all the shield agents around him. I think looks really good here, especially recreating the scenes from Avengers Endgame. And of course, here is the first floor, packed full of details. And yeah, putting this into one video is going to be a challenge. Of course, starting here on the outside, it's pretty nice. You have two benches here, as well as a little spot, which is where the memorial plaque is going to go. You have a bunch of windows, which have been a pain to put together. However, it just looks so clean, actually. Like, spinning it all around here, especially with the breakup of this translucent blue one, looks very nice, especially on the curve right there, which actually works with these angle pieces right there, which actually looks just super clean. Of course, you can see all around the build. You also have the attachment pieces for the Technic pins, swooshing it all the way around to the back here, more windows, and you can see our first little detail here, of course, which is the new exhibit, the Captain America in the Smithsonian Museum, I believe that is. Of course, there's also an Avengers symbol right there, and right in front of, or right behind it, I guess, is the exit only sign, which is very nice. Of course, this slant right here is where the panel is going to go to close this place up. And now we can take a look at the inside. Look on in here, it actually looks really good. Starting closest to us, we have two little lounge chairs, which I think look really great there. Very simple build, but just adds so much. As well as along the wall, we have a elevator right there, which actually does go into the second floor. There's nothing behind it, of course, as there would be no way to make a moving elevator in this set. However, we also do have a little vending machine here, which you can actually simply pop out here, which does have 4 cans of soda in there, which is actually very cool. Pop off the top pretty easily, fit them in there. A very nice and pretty advanced build. Of course, you also have another little Easter egg there, which is the PIM logo right there, sponsoring the Vita Rush, which of course is the Lego City soda. Of course, we also have a desk here, which does look really good. And of course, smack dab in the middle of the build is the famed Tesseract right there, which of course is just a Minecraft head in translucent blue, which I think actually works really nice. Of course, the desk build is actually very nice. You have a little indent there with the sand orange, I would believe it would be. And it just looks really good, especially with the clear translucent hopper tiles on top there. I believe there is also a sticker piece right here for the computer, which does look very nice. Of course, I will pop it out right here. And it is just a bunch of files with a Lego head right there, which actually does look nice. Behind is also a light fixture, which I think looks really good, using these lightsaber pieces in clear, which is always nice to have. Of course, if you can see, the elevator also has the up and down arrows, and the buttons to activate. I did forget to mention that if you do lift up this bench right here, underneath is a little piece of gum, which is actually pretty funny. And of course, now moving into the second floor, starting with the figures. The first two figures we get being the exact same. This is Captain America, well, without his helmet, of course. This is the unmasked version, coming with the hair, as well as the same face print that he's been using for years, which I don't really think fits Chris Evans. However, it is just nice to have an extra little face print there. Of course, this is the same torso and legs that have been featured in the most recent Avengers 1 film based off of Lego sets here. Of course, we also do get a second version, this of course being the masked version, of course. He does come with two different face expressions, one being happier, one being more determined or concerned. Of course, we do get his helmet too, with the little flags or the wings on the side, as well as the shield, which actually does get put later into the build. And in this section of the build, we also do get Helen show, another one of the exclusive, kind of more civilian figures of the set, which I think is very, very nice. She does have two face expressions, one being more worried and one being more confident, of course. Probably the worried face expression being because Ultron is keeping her captive. She does come with a syringe, as well as a brand new torso piece, which I think, or torso print, sorry, which does look. And those figures are featured because this second floor is the lab, as well as this bridge where Captain America fights himself initially in the Avengers Endgame movie. And this section of the build is filled with so many cool details, so let's just break them down. Of course, starting with the first floor here, we have a spot where you can slip on Captain America, which I think is a very, very nice detail, and something that they didn't really need to do. Of course, he has a shield on him, but you do get the idea he can go right down there. Of course, there is a bit of glass shattered, which if you do look right up above here, there's another shield, and this is the glass bridge where they fight. Of course, right here is a broken off section right here, which is actually built really cool using this sideway building technique, which I think looks really good. And yeah, just the broken glass just looks really, really cool. Of course, zooming on in there, you can see a little lab area right there for Helen, of course, with the Iron Man kind of suit being deployed, which I think looks really good, as well as two chairs for people. And moving to a bird's eye view perspective to get a better look at this, you can also see, of course, the elevator extension on the back right there, as well as the chair that we just looked at earlier. And right in here, the lab. This, of course, is where Jarvis and Ultron are introduced to each other, of course, in Avengers Age of Ultron, which I think is just a super cool nod, especially using this boulder piece in translucent blue and this orange piece, as well as that stand that is used for Thor throwing his hammer to kind of make it look like they're floating. Looks really, really cool, of course. It's kind of hard to see them right here, but this is the side view, of course. And beneath it is a little table, of course, where you can be helping someone get better, I would assume. There's a little cot right back there with, of course, a stand for those two pieces right there for Ultron and for Jarvis. Of course, there's also a Mind Stone there, and zooming on, see that there's a little oxygen tank and another sticker piece right there behind the Mind Stone, which of course shows Iron Man's helmet and his arc reactor. Below it is also a cabinet with a syringe and a little med pack. Also, when building the second story, at the end of the booklet, we do get this little scene right here, which I was trying to recreate, but of course, he had his shield. Yeah, both of the Captain Americas are right there, and they do add in the joke right here. Once I lift it up, of course, it says, "We think that second figure looks great, Cap. As far as we're concerned, that's America's tube side." So I guess Lego figures' butts are called tubes. Now with all the figures out of the way and the first instruction booklet done, we can now attach the final top right here, which does look really, really good. And it doesn't come apart super easily either. And we can press that down like so into place, of course, making sure that everything is flush all the way around here. The windows have been pretty tedious to do. However, I think it does look good in the end result. Of course, also, behind here, you can see that the elevator does go along the bottom there, and it doesn't connect to anything, it's just windows, which I guess was for kind of the symmetry and to make it look good all the way around there. Of course, you do have these cylinders going all the way up, which does look super nice. And if you do look on the inside here, there's a trim which is going to be filled in with some tiles, which I think are just going to be so fun to place down. Of course, it is super tall right now, but it is going to be 3 feet. But there you guys have it. Part 1 of the Avengers Tower. It's looking amazing already, and I just love all the Easter eggs hidden throughout it. Of course, Part 2 and Part 3 are coming out later. I just have not built them yet. And all these videos will be releasing throughout the week. So if you guys did want to enjoy the video, please make sure to subscribe and like the video, as it shows me what you guys like to see, as well as it pushes me out to more people who may also enjoy my content. But anyways, guys, thanks.